Hey guys, Jonah here, back again, back with a beer review, and hopefully you enjoyed the supermarket Sunday from earlier on. I know I did, and yeah, I've got a few more of those greenkins to drink, but I'm not going to review them again. The beer I'm doing today is from the Angels of the North. Well, it kind of is. It's from them, but it was brewed, I think, for, well, so the article in here says, for a beer festival that they had, I think it was in July time last year. There's a little write up, there you go, a taste of the festival. And here it is. It's the combination Northeast Brewers Showcase, it says. Yeah, a bit weird because when you delve a little further, like I do sometimes, dear viewer, sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. Brewed and canned by Beer 52 at Full Circle. And guess what? We've had two beers from them of recent. Just checking, we have got wheat in here, but not oats. But yeah, so it's a Saison dry hop farmhouse ale. So that's basically a dry hop Saison. And it says all these people, and you would have, well, obviously they made it. Tooth and Court Brew York, they're a good one. There's the actual beer, Brewers Showcase. Northern Monk, Alpha and Delta, and Vox. And there we go. Oops. Northeast Brewing Showcase, and all that kind of jazz. But basically, this is a festival beer that they brewed for a festival. They obviously had some left over, so they canned it. Or maybe they thought, oh, this is actually quite nice. I know, let's do a canning run and send it out. And because it was done by Full Circle, that means that there's 3 beers done by Full Circle that I've had, within the space of a week. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. They are different beers, don't get me wrong. There was one that contract brew for someone else, for Three Brothers. That was that Baltic Porter. There was a coffee stout, so similar. And then there's this one, Saison, which is totally different. So kind of 3 different styles, but from the same brewery. Hey, that's what it is. Can't really tell you huge amount of this because the article doesn't go into that much detail. The only thing I really know is it has Mandarina Bavaria. And we've had that somewhere before recently as well, dear viewer, like in the last week or so. So there's a lot of crossovers. Beer 52 are doing, they're doing things to cut costs, perhaps, especially with stuff going on within the UK. But hey, why not? And if you were going to buy this beer, solely based on the costs of Beer 52, probably talking about £3 for this can, and it's a tiny can as well. You could have at least put it in a bigger can, couldn't you? Come on, guys, that's crazy. Anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, I think the other hop from memory is Fuggles. I think so. Very traditional other hop, and then you chuck Mandarina Bavaria, which is crazy. Oh, trying to get this thing open. Is my grip going in my old age? Who knows? Anyway, I've had this chilling away. Saison, very nice. Saison du Pont. I would have Saison du Jona. Cool. What am I talking about? What is he on about, that nutter? Why, nutter? What are you talking about? Well, this is shaping up to be a nice, super clear Saison. Apparently, I was reading in the article as well that they've used somewhat of a special yeast, which is cool and the gang. So where are we? Well over a finger's head. 2. Oh yeah, I call that 2. 2 for cash. And there is a slight, the slightest of slight haze, but otherwise that is pretty clear. It is not bad at all. You can see my beard through there. That's interesting. Lovely kind of yellowy beer, amber beer. And the head is the stuff of legend. Look at that fluffy white head. There's a few big bubbles in there. And look at the carbonation, man. The carbonation is pretty spot on. And this is not a nucleated glass either. So that's pretty good. Right, let's do one of these shots. I'm not going to mess about. So, boom, there we go. Yeah, the yeast is I'm not sure actually. Is it a house yeast in Full Circle or not? I think it might be a special Saison yeast, and that's why they've kind of called it a Saison. And at 5%, it's not too bad at all. Getting a little bit of spiciness, a bit of floralness. Weirdly, I'm not getting the citrus. Maybe they didn't use so much Mandarin of Bavaria in late hopping, but that's weird because Fuggles you would have thought would be a bittering hop as well. You know what? I get the most I get from this is kind of like a yeastiness, a yeasty kind of thing on the nose, which is interesting because doing my beer judging, yeastiness is definitely one of the judging kind of criteria. And from cask beers, because I'm doing a lot of stuff predominantly for camera, obviously, but cask beers don't have massive heads. They don't have that kind of yeasty character as much as draft beers and definitely bottled beers. So maybe that's where it comes in for doing judging for SIBA and weird stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely on there. Come on. Wow. Okay, now I'm getting, whoa, lovely, lovely shot of zestiness. Citrus, definitely. Getting that yeast in there as well, but there's a bit of spiciness too, which is really nice. That is coming from the Fuggles, definitely. It's weird, as you have beers with hops in that are traditional hops like Fuggles, like East Kent Goldings, really traditional hops, but you don't really see it that often in craft beers. So when you go to the pub and have a pint of bitter, pint of dishwater, as I used to call it, um, and you go, oh yeah, that's proper traditional beer. But then you have a reminder from a more crafty nature. I mean, Saison is a really traditional style. Don't get me wrong. We're talking northern France, Belgium, but yeah, you don't often have a Fuggles Saison. Interesting. Gives it a spiciness that perhaps wouldn't be there. Although you do get a bit of spiciness from the yeast as well. You do get that in certain Belgian beers as well. So wow. Yeah, drinking through the foam, there's that zestiness up front. It's really, yeah, we are talking things like grapefruit, like, you know, pretty bitter types of fruit and pith as well. Zestiness, and then it goes into sort of that mellow. Then it goes into that mellow kind of orangey, tangerine kind of type thing, Satsuma, if you will. Um, and the finish is quite nice as well. Quite nice, quite sharp, and nice. I mean, the finish is not superbly long, so you can drink this reasonably quickly. 5%, wasn't it? Yeah, 5% on the ABV. This bad boy. I can see why they chose this one to have at a beer festival. This is kind of easy drinking. Okay, 5%. Pardon me. You shouldn't chug these back, shall we say, but you could do. And unlike certain other beers that have heavy hopping, heavy fruity kind of natures, this one is light enough that you could, yeah, you could have 3 or 4 of these easily, not a problem. We've even got, look, there's even a line from where we started, which is quite cool. Be interesting to see if there's another one. Come on, dive in. Yes, there is. So, yeah, I'm assuming that's kind of from the wheat influence. Wow, that dry sharpiness is almost lager-like. If you had a dry hopped lager with Mandarin Bavaria, or perhaps Simcoe Amarillo, maybe one of those kind of things, to get that orangey kind of citrusy thing in there, I don't think it'll be that far off this, which is really nice, really clean, clear as anything as well, which is cool. Really, really nice beer. Is it a traditional saison? Not especially, but hey, if it's just, oh, here's the festival beer, don't actually tell you what it is. Fantastic, really nice. Oh, is it a saison de pont? No, but it doesn't have to be. This is not what this is all about. This was probably brewed up with not a huge amount of notice. Right, let's do a session beer or a reasonable beer, a festival beer, shall we say, a Marzen, that kind of thing. But make it a saison, and put some, yeah, put some lovely kind of orangey, zesty, fruity, citrusy stuff in. This is what you get, and I have to say, I quite like it. Here we go. I'm going to let you get on your way, dear viewer, because you've had 2 of me today because of the beer review I did earlier on. Please think about subscribing, click like, all that kind of jazz. This is a good one. Unclejona will return with more beer reviews real soon.